Welcome back, welcome back to another edition of Sideline Banter with Tink, y'all. Mm, whew, it's been a week, hasn't it? But hey, we made it. Anyway, listen. We're gonna go ahead on and jump right into it. Go ahead on and unpack what we've been having going on in these sidelines lately, because it's a little bit of stuff going on. Um, the NBA playoffs. We are now in the conference finals. Detroit could not do what it do in Game 7, so um, they're in Cancun. Yeah, the Cavs sent them on to Cancun. They couldn't take care of business at home in Game 7, and uh, you have the Spurs who went ahead and took care of business against the Timberwolves, who faced OKC. So we have the Western Conference Finals, which is the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the San Antonio Spurs. You have in the Eastern Conference Finals the New York Knicks versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. Um, we've already had Game 1 for both series, and honey, listen, Victor Wimbiamba, first of his name, protector of the realm, king of the Andals, lord of the seven kingdoms, all of that good stuff. Him. The man dropped 41 points and 24 rebounds in the double overtime victory against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Yeah, he's not human. I need him to be tested to see if he's really human. And the fact that the Spurs was able to do what they did and pull out that win without their veteran point guard in De'Aaron Fox speaks volumes. Um, I am going to go ahead on and shout out my Lakers because, I mean, yeah, we in Cancun, but we did give the blueprint on how to guard the Thunder. You know, because there's no stopping SGA. You don't stop him, but you can contain him and slow him down. But you can't stop him. You can't stop. You can slow him down. But you can't stop him. And that is what OKC did. They slowed him down. They made J Dub. They made shout out Alex Caruso had a monster game. 30 points. I think it was like eight. I think he had eight threes in the game. Like he was he was playing out of his mind, and not just on the offensive end, but he was doing a little bit of defense. I mean, there were instances where he was guarding Wimby. Why, I don't know, but he wasn't horrible. It just Wimby is another one. You can slow him down, but the only person that can stop him is himself. Um, but yeah, the way they defended OKC, they really did make things difficult for SGA, and he received his MVP. He was named MVP of the league for the second year in a row. So shout out to him. Congratulations. They did present him with that trophy. And I noticed in a video that Wimby was sitting on the bench during that entire presentation. And he was just sitting on the bench, locked in, head down. He wasn't paying it no mind. But I feel like in his mind, it was, y'all gonna get him dead in front of my face? And he took it personally. He took that personally. I'm here for it. I'm here for that type of petty. So shout out to you, Wimby. Wimby said he was not gonna be denied. But the game was good. It was a great game. That might have been the best playoff game I've seen in a long time. At least this season, because last year's playoffs was just like that. You know, the Pacers was making noise and it was coming back from being down by double digits. You know, it made it interesting. But Wimby, let me tell you how disrespectful Victor Wimbiana is. Cause see when a man plays the way he played in that game, you gotta call him by his first and last name. You gotta come with some respect. Okay, you gotta put some respect on his name. That man had 41 points and 24 rebounds and 3 turnovers and a couple of steals and a couple of blocks. But when that man shot that three from across on the other side of the city in OKC, and it didn't touch the rim, it didn't touch the backboard, it barely touched the nets. That mug was the most perfect shot I'd ever seen shot. When he shot that, he took their soul. He took the soul out of that daggone arena at that moment. And it was no looking back. He was blocking, he was dunking. He refused to be denied. And they came out with the dub. The question is, how will OKC respond? And it still has not been said if De'Aaron Fox will return. Now, can the Spurs win without De'Aaron Fox? But they're going to have to clean up some of them turnovers. Council did a great job. Him and Dylan Harper. I'm going to get on Dylan Harper in a second. Dylan, you might as well get ready to make your way to the front of the line because we got to talk, baby. We got to talk. But Council, granted, he did good. He played great. But he had 11 turnovers. We got to take care of that ball, baby. We got to take better care of the ball. You cannot win that way. You won this game, but you cannot expect to keep winning with having those many turnovers. We got to clean that up a little bit. So they do, granted, they got the W. They got the win. They stole them one on OKC's home court. So they done snatched that home court. So the pressure is not on San Antonio to win game 2. It's not on them. The pressure's all on OKC now. Like, you got to win. If OKC don't come out with a dub in game 2 and they go back to Texas up 2-0, OKC might be in trouble. That's all I'm going to say. They might be in trouble. But yeah, Council, baby, we got to clean up them turnovers, baby. I mean, you're a rookie. We know you're learning. This is the big stage. This is where stars are made. This is where stars are made. Not born, but made. And so, Council, baby, you gotta clean up them turnovers. So if there's no De'Aaron Fox, definitely gotta clean up them turnovers. I know they can get it done, but they are definitely missing the veteran leadership of Fox. Because for me, this is my take. I don't think that game go to 2 overtimes if De'Aaron Fox is on that floor. They don't go to 2 overtimes. Because a lot of those, the way OKC was able to stay in that game, one, Wemby would have to go sit. I mean, you got to rest the man. He would sit. And so they were able to get to the basket. But there's some decisions that was made by Council that led to those turnovers. I don't think De'Aaron would have that many turnovers or make those many mistakes because of the leadership. So, but shout out to Council and Dylan. Dylan, baby, come on here. Front of the line. Into the light. Sit down. Right there, sit. You let me tell you something. This baby here, a dog. Not just offensively, defensively, on the floor, jumping for every rebound. I mean, hooping like he been playing in the league all his life. You your daddy's son, boy. You your daddy's son. Shout out to Ron Harper. Yeah. Them two, Council and Dylan, yeah. They held things down. They did enough for them to come away with the win, which is what they needed. So it has not been announced if Fox is going to play in game 2. Hopefully he can. But if he can't, hopefully the Spurs are able to hold off OKC and get another win to go home up 2-0. They will want that, but even if they don't win tonight, it won't be bad for them because, again, they got one. However, for the Thunder of Oklahoma City, baby, you got to win. It will not be good for Oklahoma City to go to San Antonio down 0-2. It's not going to be a good idea, but that's just me. Moving on to the East Coast, to the Knickerbockers of New York. Let me say something. The Cavs, I'm a bit biased because I don't trust James Harden. And that's for my own reasons or whatever. I'm not going to get into that, but I don't trust James Harden. And if you want to know about it, look at his track record and then tell me what you think. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. But I don't trust James Harden. And when the Cavs got James Harden, I might have been one of few people that was not like, the Cavs about this, they about to do that now. No, I was not. I don't trust James Harden. I just don't. And until he shows me differently, I won't. Simple. For 3 quarters, you can't even say 3.5. 3 quarters. Well, you might say 3 and 3/4, 3 and maybe a quarter. 3 quarters and then maybe a quarter of the fourth. Cavs had that game up, had it in their hands, like it was in their hands, sealed. But they let the Knicks break the seal in the fourth quarter. A 22-point lead was completely obliterated, and the Knicks came away with the victory in overtime. Yeah, you heard me correct. The Knicks went on an 18-2 run in the fourth quarter. And I think when they started that comeback, and if you include overtime, I think it was like 44-11. Yeah. You heard me right. The numbers are correct. Don't believe me? Look them up. And I have so many questions because now Donovan Mitchell did what he needed to do. He finished with 29. Like he was cooking. For that the first 3 quarters, he did what needed to be done, and he needed his teammates to step in. Evan Mobley, why are you shooting so many threes? Jared Allen, I need you to be a little bit more aggressive, baby. Just a little bit more. And James Harden, I need you to be what a lot of people claim you are. I've heard people say that you are the best or second best or third best shooting guard of all time. Yeah, I'm scratching my head on that, but I don't. Anyway, they needed you to show up. And then I got a question for the coach. How do you let Jalen Brunson and maybe one or two other people on the Knicks, but mostly Brunson, cook James Harden like it was a turkey on Thanksgiving Day? I mean, Jalen Brunson had his way. And it was like 9 straight possessions that it was an ISO situation with James Harden and Jalen Brunson. Now, I know this, y'all, because I watched the game. How do you as a coach let that go on and don't call no timeout to at least stop and get that man a breather or something? And it's diabolical. And don't they say if you keep doing the same thing, expecting different results is the definition of insanity? Yeah, 9 possessions. After the third one, I'd be like, all right, bro. He was having his way. So yeah, the Cavs had the game in the bag. They had it right there, but they let the Knicks come back and get the win. So I don't know if that took the soul of the Cavs, because I would be pissed off. But the question is, how will the Cavs respond in game 2? How you gonna act? Are you gonna fight back? Or are you gonna let them continue to have their way with you? Questions that need answers. Shout out to Mike Brown. He made a hell of an adjustment. He's been making some adjustments during the entire playoffs, that has gotten his team wins. And like I had said throughout the season, I was concerned because Karl-Anthony Towns was not as involved in the offense as I thought he should have been. So, yeah, I really did not understand that. But in the playoffs, he changed that. Now, Cat does not have as many field goal attempts as he normally would, or at least I think he should, with him being able to score, but he is more involved in the offense, whether it is him um, maybe facilitating a bit or getting to the basket or drawing the double team or, so that he can kick it out to somebody else that's open. But they they started doubling Jalen Brunson, and you had to because Harden couldn't do nothing, but it was too late. They already cut down the lead too far. They already had the momentum. And when they did that, then Brunson was able to kick it out and to OG. OG had a couple of shots. I think they took it to Salmon. Salmon had a couple of he hit a couple of big threes. So yeah, it was too late. But shout out to Mike Brown. He's been coaching his behind off. But he said in that press conference, my man said in that press conference, he said the game plan was to go attack Harden. He knew who to go to. He knew where to go. He knew where their weakness was. Shout out to him. I love it. That's my type of carrying on. I'm here for it. So I'm going to slide a little bit because I do got to shout out the Carolina Hurricanes, our hockey team here in North Carolina. They are in the East Final again. And they play the Canadians tomorrow night. So shout out to them. Good luck to them. Hopefully you all can go all the way and bring that Stanley Cup back where it belongs. Okay? So shout out to them. Shout out to them. Let's go, Carolina. I really want to go to a hockey game, but I want to go for the wrong reasons. I want to go because they let them fight. So I want to go see them fight. I know it's terrible, but I want to go. I'm going to go one of these days. I'm going to go. Bucket list. I'm going to go. I think the only hockey game I might have been to was when I lived in Chicago and I went to a Blackhawks game and it was fun, but it wasn't enough fighting. I went over my fighting. But I think the game was out of reach. So it wasn't that much intense, I think. So yeah, I'm gonna make my way to one in Raleigh. One of these. That's on my bucket list. So a little bit of headlines in the sports world. With Aaron, aka Aaron Rodgers. He announced that this upcoming season will be his last season. He will be retiring at the end of the season. So congratulations, Aaron Rodgers. Shout out to you on an outstanding career. He started out in Green Bay and he was there until 2022. Then he went to the Jets. That didn't last. Got injured. Nothing happened. And then he ended up in Pittsburgh, where he is now. I did think that maybe he would go back to Green Bay and retire as a Packer because that's where he spent the majority of his career. Like that's where he won. So, but congrats on an amazing 20-year season. Just to list a few, I don't want to say a few. I list his accolades and what he's accomplished in his 20-year career. He is a Super Bowl champ and a Super Bowl MVP. He's a 4-time NFL MVP. He's a 4-time first-team All-Pro, 10-time Pro Bowler, 4th-time NFL passer rating leader, 2-time NFL passing touchdown leader, and he was the NFL completion leader for 1 year. I think that was like in 2020. So shout out to Aaron Rodgers on an amazing career. Hopefully, with this being your last season, you make it a great one. You go out with a bang. Like if this is gonna be the last one, hey, give them hell. Ball out. That's all I can say. But yeah, congratulations to you. Shout outs to you, Aaron Rodgers, on an amazing 20-year career. So hopefully this last one is one of your best. We got a little bit of drama headline. I'm saying a little bit of drama. And it's with the WNBA because the WNBA is in full swing now with the regular season. I think we're about 3 or 4 games in. So, teams are starting to figure out. Some of them are still figuring out who they are as a team, trying to find out their identity of a team. And, how their season is gonna go. So they're still figuring some of that out right now. Um, do have a bit of bad news with the WNBA. Miss Rakia Jackson will be done for the season as she tore her ACL uh, a couple of days ago. Heartbreaking, very very heartbreaking. Hate to see any injury. Um, she's an amazing player, an amazing talent. She's been through a lot this year off the court. She has some domestic issues with an ex boyfriend. Um, and that she had to go through and get out of. And she came out of that, and she came back to play when the season started, and then now she tore her ACL. Really, really hate that. Hate to hear that, Rakia. Prayers to you on a speedy recovery. Um, I will say, don't rush it. Let your body heal. Rehab, focus on that and heal. Like, let your body completely heal, because you do not want to be in a situation as to where you come back too soon and you re-injure yourself. So thoughts and prayers to Rakia Jackson. Wishing you a speedy recovery, baby girl. um so what a lot of folks have been talking about on social media is an exchange that happened between Caitlin Clark, who plays for the Indiana Fever, and she was the first round overall draft pick for the 2024 WNBA draft. Was it 23? 24, one of them. But anyway, yeah, it's 24. Um, but they are talking about an exchange that happened between Caitlin Clark and her defensive coach with the Fever. And the narrative is that Caitlin was yelling at the coach. There was arguing back and forth, and the coach was only trying to make her accountable for not playing defense or not playing great defense. And so it has turned into what I think it ends up turning into, that they want to drag Caitlin and try to find something bad so that they can find a way to attack her and say that she's a terrible teammate or she's a terrible player. She can't be coached. She's spoiled. She's bright, whatever. And that's fine. Now, has she been playing great basketball so far this season? Maybe not. But it hasn't been horrible. She's averaging 24 points and 24 points, 9 assists, and 5 rebounds, I believe, in 4 games. That was in 4 games. But they say, I was told that was bad. I was told that was trash. And then they said, well, it's because of her efficiency. Her efficiency isn't that good. She's shooting like 40 something percent from the field, and she's shooting 30 something percent from 3. I've seen worse, but can she be playing better? Absolutely. I'm always going to say that. But what I do not agree with, what I do not like, and I don't like it when they do it with any of the players, is to blame the player for everything that's going on with the franchise. Blame one player. So I think I read a headline that said she can't be coached, and she's the reason why they lost the game against the Washington Mystics. She hit the 3, I think, to send them into overtime or to tie the game up in the 4th, because I didn't see the whole game. But I know I saw a stretch of the game where I think the Fever either had a 1-point lead or they were down 1 point. And Kelsey Mitchell was on a fast break, and Caitlin threw the ball down to her. And Kelsey Mitchell missed the wide open layup. And it was seconds left in the game. It's like maybe under a minute. I could say that. So, but I didn't see no one say anything about that. All I saw people talking about is what Caitlin's mistakes are. Now, is it okay to critique her and criticize her game? Absolutely. That's what you're supposed to do. I just don't like she's trash. You just want to drag her and talk and throw. I don't like it when they do it to Angel Reese either. I don't like it when they do it to her. I don't like it when they do it to Paige. I don't like If you're going to critique their game, critique their game and say that and leave it at that. But you don't have to like completely trash them. And then they come out and say, oh, y'all want to protect Caitlyn because she's the great white hope. I'm going to call a spade every time. I don't like it when the media tried to make Angel a villain. I don't like it when they was trying to make it as Angel and Caitlyn were enemies. I still don't like it when they tried to do it with Paige and Caitlyn because they came in at the same time. I don't like that. Let the girls play. I don't like how some of these casual fans now that are watching WNBA are coming in and they are talking this trash and putting Caitlyn on one pedestal or another player on a different. Stop it. I also don't like how some people are blaming Caitlyn for the way some fans react, as if she has control of it. You're also blaming her for the media attention that she has received throughout her college career and into her WNBA career. It's not her fault. She didn't ask for it. But what's she supposed to do? So I just don't like I don't like that. I really just want us to women's basketball has never been where it is. I've always known been talent and it's been players that can play, but I know that because I watched it. I watched basketball. But for those that just coming in, they may not know who Asia Wilson is. They may not know who Diana Taurasi is. They might not know who Sue Bird is. They may not know from back in the day who Lisa Leslie was, or who Cheryl Swoops was, or who Shamika Holesclaw was, or who Tamika Catchings was. Or they may not know Maya Moore existed. They may not know that Breanna Stewart was Breanna Stewart before she was at the Liberty. They may not know completely who Sabrina Ionescu is. They may not know about Jonquel Jones. I'm just naming a bunch of players. Most people will know, the big names. And as big as Asia Wilson was, there were still a lot of people that didn't know who she was. They didn't know she's a product of Dawn Staley. Probably didn't know that until within the last few years. So, like, I just want us to enjoy the game and the viewership that we have now. We have people going to the games. We have games being viewed. We have games being sold out. I love this for the game, but I don't want it to be tainted with stupid narratives. All them girls want to do is hoop. Let them hoop. Let them hoop. Stop adding the negative stigma to it. Leave that alone. And if you don't like a player, like especially when it comes to like the Caitlyn, Asia, Angel, Paige, if you don't like them, even with Juju about to come in the league next year, and she's gonna go through the same scrutiny, unfortunately. If you don't like them for whatever reason, and it has nothing to do with their game, then I would rather you say that and I will respect you better. But don't wait until they have a bad game or something happens and you use that as a way to try to tear them down and say that is just who they are. That's not fair. That's not fair to that. I don't like that. I don't even example. I am not the biggest LeBron James fan. I have never have been. It has been Michael Jeffrey Jordan and it's been Kobe Bryant. It's been Magic Johnson. It's been Kareem. Them. I love them. MJ and Kobe are my favorites, top two. But I will not trash LeBron and what he has brought to the game of basketball. I don't have to tear him down to make them look good. I don't have to do that. I don't. Because Kobe and MJ is great by themselves. And so is LeBron. I don't have to tear down MJ and Kobe to make LeBron look good or vice versa. So if you don't like a player, I would rather you say that. I will respect you better. I will. And it will make perfect sense. But yeah, I don't like I don't like that. Whatever happened with Caitlyn and her defensive coach, I hope they worked it out. We know Caitlyn can be passionate, but she's not the only one that's like that. We've seen it with other players. It's just a problem when she do it. At least from what I've seen. But hey. But that's all I got for y'all today on the sideline. We're gonna see what's gonna happen in these in these conference finals. So we're gonna be unpacking that next week. We'll definitely be unpacking what's going on in the WNBA because we're gonna have more games coming in. There's a lot more games on TV, so I hope y'all can check some of the games out. They are coming on USA. They're on Ion. So check out some of the games. It'll be some great games. Great games. Great games. So until then, I will catch y'all on the next edition of Sideline Banter with Tink. Peace.